have the appearance of a war.
But he can't pull it off without Hollywood's top producer.
Do I know you?
We have some mutual friends in Washington.
Why come to me?
We want you to produce.
You want me to produce your war?
Not a war, it's a pageant. We need a theme, a song, some visuals. We need, it's a pageant.
New Line Cinema presents
How close are you to this?
What do you want the kid to say?
all the spectacle,
I know we're all concerned for the president.
I know we're all concerned for the president.
I know that we are all concerned for the president.
He didn't sell the line.
all the drama,
The president's going to go to war with Albania in about 30 minutes.
Albania's hard to run.
These are chips.
We need it for the arm position on the screen. It'll be a kitten. We'll punch it in later, right?
and all the effects of real war.
Okay, put the village.
The people here in the de facto rebel capital of Libya, Benghazi, are harder than they probably ever have before. And they say the reason why they're doing that, of course, is the first time they truly believe that Muammar Gaddafi will not return here to this country. Thank you very much. They say it's the first time that they truly believe that Muammar Gaddafi will not come back. Keep in mind, this is the town where the uprising started. It's a town that was almost taken by Gaddafi troops during this uprising, and it's now one, of course, that they believe that they finally won this battle. However, people here tell us that even though they're very happy with what's going on, they still believe there's a lot of work to be done. Today is a big party because it's Gaddafi's last day. Thank God it's Gaddafi's last day. We're thankful for our army, we're thankful for our martyrs, and we're thankful for NATO for their help. Today,
rebels say that resistance has been so fierce that they wonder if Gaddafi might actually be nearby. We're covering every angle of the story with multiple correspondents on the ground. Sarah Seidner is in Tripoli's Central Square, Arwood Damon at the International Airport, and Barbara Starr has the Pentagon perspective. Meanwhile, our Zane Burgee is tracking the international reaction. She's going to join us live out of London. But let's get straight to Sarah Seidner once again. She's right there in the heart of Tripoli. And Sarah, as you mentioned earlier, what we have known as Green Square has now been renamed by the locals Martyrs Square. Yes, and there's lots of celebratory gunfire continuing to go on. We even saw one of the gunners point the gun towards the city, and it actually hit one of these buildings here. So I think that is becoming a bit of a problem. And you have to wonder, if there's a big firefight, which we know there is, and they know there is, near the airport, and there are still Gaddafi forces in Buslim, which is east of the compound, that are shooting into the compound, why isn't everyone trying to go and take care of that fight? I think what you're seeing here is the disorganization that started because when they went through and broke through Bab al-Azizia, to everyone here, that felt like this was the end of the Gaddafi regime. And people for 40-something years, 42 years, have been waiting for that moment. They now feel that the regime has completely fallen. And yet, you have these massive firefights going on, and you would imagine that they need all the gunpowder and all the strategy that they could possibly use. And you're still seeing all over the city people from Misrata, you have groups from Benghazi, you have groups from Zintan in the mountains, all congregating here, and a little bit, because the organization doesn't seem to be as good even as it was yesterday, knowing that these firefights are still going on in a couple of neighborhoods. And speculation about where Gaddafi could be. We did hear an audio recording last night purported to be from him, but it gave no indication of his whereabouts. CNN Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr joining me now. So Barbara, what exactly does the Pentagon know at this point about where he might be, and how are they tracking these comms?
Well, you know, the word that we're getting is, I think, the same that everyone's getting, which is they don't know where Gaddafi is. Certainly, as these communications alleged to be from him come up, they look to try and verify it. And NATO, of course, is really taking the lead on the part of the coalition in trying to get the situation in Libya under control. What we do know now about NATO operations is they are getting help from special forces from 4 key countries. Kira, Britain, France, Jordan, and Qatar have special forces troops on the ground. They've been moving with the rebel forces. They're helping them with communications, organization, tactics. I think what you have seen over the last 48 hours in terms of the rebel advance on Tripoli is those special forces very quietly working to help the rebels, and they're also doing some targeting on the ground so NATO warplanes can continue to conduct those precision strikes, especially on Gaddafi's compound and out near the airport, without putting civilians at risk. So you're seeing a lot going on just underneath the
Actually,
surface.
right there inside, close to the runway. If so, are there aircraft there at the airport, Arwa?
Yeah, Kira, we are inside the airport complex. We are not too far away from the runways. We have been to see the aircraft. There are a number of aircraft here, some of them belonging to the Libyan government, others grounded aircraft from a number of other nations. The runway, as of now, does not appear to have been damaged in any way, shape, or form, although the rebels say that the Gaddafi forces are actually trying to target the runway, trying to target those aircraft to cause as much damage as they possibly can. We were asking this rebel commander if he believed that Gaddafi forces wanted to take back the airport to try to somehow fly Gaddafi out of the country. He said that if that were in fact the case, it would be happening, and I quote him, over their dead bodies. Kira.
So, Arwa, then, that leads me to my next question. Rebels telling you they believe Gaddafi may be hiding out in a farm not far from the airport. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, the Gaddafi family does own a farm that is not too far.
In the lobby of the hotel, we still have Gaddafi loyalists armed with Kalashnikov rifles. Many of the journalists have taken it upon themselves, of course, to wear body armor and helmets and to congregate in the bay inside the hotel because of the safest place for us to be.
All right, there's been a lot of attention on this Rixos Hotel, and because it seems to be a favorite of Muammar Gaddafi's as well. You may remember this when he was mobbed by reporters as he strolled through its lobby back in March. Well, now it's on virtual lockdown. So why is this hotel so important to the regime? Abu Bakr Saad is a professor at Western Connecticut State University. He also was a former aide and translator to Colonel Gaddafi. He has been joining us every day this week, giving his perspective on what's been taking place there in Libya. And Professor, let me just ask you, you worked side by side with Muammar Gaddafi for a number of years. Why would this hotel, the Rixos Hotel, still be so heavily guarded by Gaddafi supporters?
Well, this hotel is one of the newest to begin with, and it was the family's favorite hotel before the whole revolution took place. Also, this hotel is located in the areas that's close to the compound of Bab el-Azizia, and also close to the airport, and close to the area which is predominantly supporters and loyalists for Gaddafi. The area that's called Bab el-Azizia, and the region in the other neighborhood next to it, it is called Buslim.
Civil war, chaos, disorganization. Would you rather be dealing with a single dictator like Gaddafi or a fractured transitional council?
Actually, neither, Kira. I mean, I think the point now is that we need to take Gaddafi out of the equation. However he's going to be settled, somebody needs to deal with that. But what we need to look at are the Libyan people and who is going to emerge as the governing authority that has legitimacy. You know, Gaddafi did have a People's Congress that was organized in 3 tiers at the local level, regional, and national level. And they did meet, they debated issues, they even passed budgets. Unfortunately, they were all appointed by Gaddafi, but I think in their tribal culture and the way they've governed themselves for the past 40 years, that People's Congress has to be reactivated, hopefully with people who are selected, you know, by their localities to begin the rebuilding process. And I think the Transition Council has to recognize that, and they have to begin to add legitimacy to govern all of the people, not just the couple of thousand that actually started this conflict. And so, again, I do think that we have to find a way to bring the people of Libya here, separate that from their leader, stop worrying about him, start worrying about the people.
That rhymes.
I can't believe that we forgot a hero.
It's like we sent him the Christmas card and we left out the, what do you call, fruitcake.
There you go.